is you, Peter. You guys know what time it is? It's a Sometimes Vlog! Oh, Tyler's not here. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. And it really hasn't happened for a while, so welcome back to the Sometimes Vlog. You, all of you in here, and me, because I haven't been here. Look at this. Fantasyland at night. Very difficult to find anywhere in Fantasyland to do the Sometimes Vlog because it's very dark. Sun is just now setting as I film this. Of course, once it's uploaded, it'll be a little while after sunset. But how are all of you guys doing? I have not been doing so well, let me tell you. The quest for positivity is gonna have some ups and some downs. I thought about just not mentioning it, but hey, that would be dishonest to pretend like the quest for positivity is always easy, right? I will tell you something. My car had a little bit of a normal problem. Spark plugs went out. Fairly typical thing after 100,000 miles of awesome spark plugness in the Live Fast Die car, 2006 Ford Mustang, which I have named Lucille after B.B. King's guitar. So I took it in to do the spark plugs, and the dealership wiped the computer. Now, for those of you car people who understand what having crazy aftermarket parts on your car means, you'll know that your car has to be custom tuned in the computer. Well, they wiped it. Shouldn't have wiped it. And it took them 2 weeks to finally admit to me that, yeah, they might have ruined my car and it was their own fault. So now they are back on the track of actually fixing the car and finally granted me access to a rental car, which they're paying for. So it all kind of is starting to work out in the end. I was very calm and very polite for a very long time. And yesterday I sort of went full, I don't want to say complaining, but I went full strict. I had to get a little strict and a little bit ruthless on the, you broke this, please fix it now. But long story short, the positivity is resumed and I now have a vehicle so I can resume the Sometimes Vlogs. I really didn't want to vlog me sitting in my room in my underwear. Not that I'm shy, just that it seemed like it would be too boring. So I'm back out here in the world and feeling a lot more positive than I was feeling yesterday when I was in the sales manager's office at a service department of a Ford dealership getting cranky. Not so cranky now, although I am a little disappointed with myself for losing my temper. I didn't do anything I'm ashamed of, but I still don't like it. I don't like losing my temper. It's kind of like throwing a rock in a pond. There's ripples everywhere. So I'm calming down, feeling grateful for all the wonderful blessings that I do have, and just being chill. But anyway, Fantasyland. Why am I in Fantasyland? Well, recently, a lot of mighty crazy changes have been announced for Fantasyland. By the way, have you noticed this? Casey Jr. That's the old ticket booth for Casey Jr. Now used as the station prop, but more importantly, is the sign in front of it. Look at this. Casey Jr. is not running today, and neither is Storybookland Canal Boats. Why? Because they are adding a little piece of scenery to Storybookland, which is some scenery from a very popular Disney movie, Frozen. This is the first real big addition to Storybookland since Agrabah, which was way back in the 90s. So pretty exciting stuff if you're a fan of Walt's little miniature world back there, which I am. You'll be pretty excited to see Anna and Elsa's little home. I believe that's what's coming in there is a castle from Frozen. I could be completely wrong about that. We'll all find out together. But more importantly than that, they just announced a whole bunch of changes to the dark rides in Fantasyland. The last time the dark rides really changed was 1983 when they revamped Fantasyland and created this new Fantasyland. They added Pinocchio dark ride. Instead of adding a Winnie the Pooh dark ride, they almost added a Winnie the Pooh dark ride there, but decided on Pinocchio, which is good because I really like that ride. And it always has a very short line, which is nice. But they have announced they're going to start to change all the dark rides, much like they recently changed the Alice in Wonderland dark ride, adding all kinds of new technology and a new experience while retaining, according to them, the spirit of the old ride. It's Disney, so I'm sure they're going to do a fantastic job. And they're keeping the dark rides. That's the most important thing because Walt Disney World, they sadly removed a lot of the classic dark rides from their Fantasyland, even though they're replacing it with all kinds of awesome new stuff. I was kind of worried that would happen here, But no, for the 60th anniversary of Disneyland, they plan on reopening the dark rides with all kinds of new stuff. So only a couple months left of the classic, as finished in 1983, dark rides here at Disneyland. So I had to come pop into Fantasyland, ride a few of these dark rides, and just appreciate the way it was. Because it is now, but it's not going to be the way it was in the future. It'll be the way it was. Does that make sense? Anyway, in the interim, while I have had no car to come and finish filming the Random Land I'm supposed to be editing, but I needed a few more shots for, I've just been painting and kind of just sitting around. I didn't sleep one night, so then I had to spend the whole next day sleeping. Just boring stuff, like I said. That's why I didn't want to vlog that in my underwear. Here I am, sitting in a room, kind of impatiently doing nothing. But I am now released from my solitary confinement, back here in the happiest place on earth, feeling very happy. So I do have a video to edit, and I will be back on top of that. I just want to work, to be honest with you. I'm kind of a lonely, solitary figure most of the time. All I really want to do, and all I want for Christmas, is my friends and to work. So, getting back to work on the Sometimes vlog. Look at all this. I wonder if Bob Gurr is here, because I know Bob Gurr was in Orange County earlier. If I spot Bob Gurr, I'll have to pop him over on the Live Fast Die Poor Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, you should be. Instagram is hecka neat. Oh, heck it, as Adam the Woo would say. Instagram is pretty neat. Look at this. Look at that carousel. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Look, here you go. Fantasyland at night. That is the back of Sleeping Beauty Winter Castle. Not all lit up yet. That comes in a little while. But actually, this part of the castle was supposed to be the front in the original Herb Ryman design. But they flipped the model backwards. Walt liked it better. And so now the front of the castle is the back. That's a story for another time, though. Look at that. Let me tell you, after a long couple days of arguing as politely as I could with some mechanics and dealership people, coming here and taking a look at that, it's pretty neat. It was raining pretty fiercely the last couple days. You should have seen Main Street. It was all flooded. People were walking through it like it was a river. I would have showed it to you, but I couldn't because I had no car. It's really hard to exist without a car in Southern California. Our public transportation system is okay, but it doesn't reach all the corners, and from where I live, it's almost impossible to hoof it to a bus stop. So I was pretty much stuck, with the exception of being able to borrow vehicles to go and do stuff. It was a bit frustrating, I'm telling you. That's okay, the frustration is over. I stayed pretty positive through it, kept my mind on the things above, and you know, the things I'm grateful for. So the quest for positivity works, even when you're negative. But sometimes you're going to get negative. Sometimes you're going to feel down. That's okay. You don't have to pretend like you're not negative and go into some kind of weird passive-aggressive, like, no, I'm really positive. It's okay to be negative and say, you know what? This situation makes me a little bit negative. Because unless you deal with the fact that you're cranky, you're not going to actually be positive. You're just going to be a false positive, which in medical terms is bad, right? False positive. They say you're I'm confused. I confused myself. I better stop doing that. I'm just so excited to be out of the house. Look at... So yeah, so they gave me a Chevy Malibu. So I'm driving around in a very nice Chevy Malibu. Seems like a very nice car to take your grandmother to brunch in. Definitely not the Mustang. That's okay. I can handle driving the speed limit for a while. I think I can handle it. Anyway, I'm just glad to be back. So the Sometimes vlogs are going to resume. Random Land is going to start being edited tonight. I don't care if I have to stay up all night and all day and all night and all day to do it. It's coming. Then I'll have to be back here to film at the end of the weekend. This weekend, we've got a bunch of family stuff to do. So I might miss the candlelight processional here at Disneyland. Are any of you going to the candlelight processional? It seems pretty cool, but Main Street at Disneyland, when there's an event, gets pretty tight and crowded. Unlike Walt Disney World, for those of you who live out of state and are more used to that Magic Kingdom, we don't have a lot of space here. Actually, I think they do the candlelight processional at Epcot at Walt Disney World, but still, we don't have a lot of space on our Main Street. It's very small and cute and miniature and wonderful, fantastic. But when there's a big event and a lot of crowds, I tend to get slightly, ever so slightly claustrophobic. And due to other plans and the claustrophobia combined, I don't know, I might be skipping the candlelight processional this year. I might watch it on YouTube. Might be the better option for me. Anyway, what else? What else is going on? I don't know. Jeff Heimbuck and Tyler Evans, rock journalists, have been doing a heck of a job keeping up the livefastdiepoor.com website. They have posted all kinds of really good content on there. Tyler just wrote a really good article the other day, dealing head on with some negativity and coming out the other side positive. So there's some really good stuff to read over there. So I would highly recommend going and checking that stuff out. Sometimes I myself kind of get a little bit distracted and lazy, and I don't even read the stuff that those two write over there. And then I come and have a festival of reading through all of it, and there's some pretty good stuff. Those two guys are talented. Don't tell them I said that, though. Tell them I said they're jerks and they should work harder. No, not really, but kinda. LiveFastDiePoor.com, LiveFastDiePoor. We got Instagram going. The Sometimes Vlogs are back. Random Land on the way. I don't know if you guys saw the last Random Land was DCA at Christmas time. On this channel, I'm gonna pop up extra footage from Christmas at Disneyland and DCA and different stuff. So keep an eye open. Keep your eyes peeled for, as Pippi Longstocking would say, keep your eyes peeled for some extra content, which I will post on this channel for all of you lovely, wonderful people. We also did a Live Fast Die Poor podcast. That's what I was forgetting. Did an LFDP podcast, episode 2, The Dark Side of My Tears, as Tyler so lovingly entitled it. We did this podcast, this time down at Jeff Heimbuck's house. And I don't know if you remember the last Sometimes vlog, but I promised you a view on Instagram of Jeff Heimbuck's toilet, which I delivered on. So go to @LiveFastDiePoor on Instagram and you will see Jeff Heimbuck's toilet. What a fantastic, wonderful thing. So we went there and jibber-jabbered for a while, so the podcast is up, which necessitated a third channel for the YouTube version. So now we have another channel. You have to look for it. Go to the website and you'll find a link to it, where we posted a YouTube version of the podcast, which isn't a video, sadly, it's just one picture. But that way, the people that didn't have access to podcasts or iTunes or whatever, so they could get at the podcast, could listen to it for free on YouTube. And yes, so we had to post that on a new channel. So go subscribe over there, because there's going to be all kinds of skits and crazy. There's going to be all kinds of secret stuff I can't talk about on that channel in 2015. So we're all looking very, very forward to the new year. Let me tell you, 2014 was pretty much, bar none, if I'm totally being honest, maybe the worst year of my entire life. So yeah, a lot of crazy bad stuff happened. But on the other hand, some of the best stuff that's ever happened to me has happened to me this year as well. So I don't know if it exactly balances out. But it was a hard year one way or the other, and we are all looking forward to 2015. We are putting on our best optimism caps. Is that a thing? That's not a thing. That's a new thing. Optimism cap. We got to get an optimism cap. Maybe a cap with Optimus Prime on it. And we're saying we're getting now I'm ranting. That's why Adam the Woo does that, because he forgets what he's talking about and he has to go on a scramble. Hi, Adam the Woo. This is all your fault, by the way, Adam the Woo. Oh, that's one other thing. So go over to our Facebook page, Live Fast Die Poor, once you see this, and I will post a link to the Merry Christmas Adam the Woo song, which existed on this channel long before Sometimes Vlogs and long before Random Land, back in the day when Adam and I were friends. Well, we still are friends. And he had just started doing videos himself. He did a little Christmas video of him just walking around saying Merry Christmas, which I think has since been deleted. So I answered it with a lovely Christmas song, where first I pretended to be a psychopathic murderer and sang him a lovely Christmas song from that perspective. So that's kind of interesting. Well, now that I have a car again, I better shave my face, take a shower, and look presentable, because right now I'm all Johnny cashed out in black, wearing it for the poor and beaten down, living in the hopeless hungry part of town. I am not. I'm just wearing it because that's all that was clean. I'm going to go home and do my laundry, edit the video, which is kind of like doing your laundry, only more fun, and posting all that stuff to the website, to the Facebook. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I'm sort of coming back out of the gloom of sitting there going, when do I have a car? When do I have a car? Whew, at least I have a car. You know, I cried when I had no shoes till I met the man with no feet. That's the only way to stay positive, is to realize it could be a lot worse. At least I have a car. At least I have sold some paintings, so I'm going to buy groceries. At least I have somewhere to sleep and something to eat. And all of you wonderful, amazing people out there watching these completely insane, weird, sometimes vlogs. So there's plenty to be grateful for. I do not want anyone to think that I'm whining or complaining or saying I'm having a hard time. Although, as Mark Twain would say, the broken toy is of no consequence to the king who lost his crown, but the lost crown is of no consequence to the child whose toy is broken. Right? Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for watching this crazy, scrambly, rambly, sometimes vlog. Keep your chin up. I'm going to keep my chin up. We're all going to keep our chins up and take this quest to a whole new level in 2015. So if you can, come out to Disneyland before January as they start to shut down rides to revamp them for the summer celebration of the 60th anniversary of Disneyland. Make sure to get all the dark rides in you can. And also, hopefully, we'll be checking out the new Frozen scenery in Storybook Land pretty soon. And also at TCA, there's going to be all kinds of Frozen stuff. Muppet Visions 3D is going the way of the buffalo to make room for some crazy Frozen stuff. I don't know what's going to happen to Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. will probably stay, but it's going to be surrounded by Frozen. Those monsters better get a jacket because it's going to get cold. I've officially lost the plot. Alright, subscribe for some more Sometimes Vlog. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.